Vision got things that I'm talking about.
So, like all the things I wrote down, I think they're also correct. Some, I don't know, but let me just. I did opportunities, and practice makes perfect. So, and I also did perseverance with clear your mind and vision. I also did meditation and imagination.
You sure you're not the one who...
What up, peeps? This is your boy DJ Kara SA, as you know it. I know that I said I won't be appearing on the streams anymore, but yabo, let's share my levels, man. Kancane. So, guys, this is the show that brings you upcoming and renowned artists, whether locally or international. Sizonilethela bonke bonke. So today we bring you a guest. I take her as a renowned artist, author, business lady, businesswoman. So she wrote a book last year that is called Let Us Think Wealth, Not Rich. So today she will be explaining about her background and everything to us. Let us welcome her. Oh, guys, before I forget, in the studio today we have Mbuso, we have Lady M, Lebu M. So our guest today, she will introduce herself. I don't want to take the spotlight, guys. Sawubona ma unjani?
Ngiyaphila kunjani?
Ngiyaphila nami. Ngicela uzintroduce.
Okay, my name is Mamu Hao
Yebo.
Nkosi.
Yes.
I am the published author. You think like the wealthy, not the rich.
Wow.
I am essentially contract manager or project manager because I work in construction.
Okay, wow.
So yeah, I do school projects with my company. But yeah, I am sort of trying to launch this new career, if you may, of sort of giving back in terms of imparting knowledge to people of our, background about money and finance, and eventually thinking about wealth.
Okay, ma, before siyakude ngoba ngiyakubona ngathi sizongithathela position la. Can you please tell us about more who is Mam How? Me, I know you as Miss King.
Yeah, Mrs. King.
Mrs. King. Yeah, so can you please tell us about your background, where you grew up?
Okay, I grew up at Twatwa Emapupeni in Davidton.
Okay.
I grew up in a squatter camp. When we started staying there, there was no running water or electricity. So essentially it was sort of a poor, very poor environment, no services at all. But yeah, I did my matric HBNyati and went on to study civil engineering.
Wow.
So yeah, I have a BTech degree in civil engineering. In civil engineering. So yeah, but then as I was working, I realized that I need to start building wealth, and that's when the whole idea of the book came
up.
Yeah.
Okay. So according to my research, mina ngilabo ubhuba abusnuphayo kakhulu. According to my research, you also grew up at Tau Street.
Yes.
Can you please tell us about that? As we expose her today, we're gonna expose her a lot, guys.
Actually, chapter 1 of the book talks about my time at Tau. So that is the township where I grew up. That was my grandmother's place. That's where we stayed. And yeah, I speak about the trees that we have around the yard because my grandmom was she likes she liked planting trees. So I think we had 6 different types of nectarine trees. So I speak about them when I talk about abundance on the book. So yeah, I grew up there as well. It was
I
equally
heard there
rough.
was a lady next door, kind of a labo mama lava bathi mebebuya ebusuku shem bebenikhipha busy nje, and also you had to play around the yard. You were not
Oh
allowed
yeah,
to play
yeah, we're not
nabantwana
like
base next door.
yeah.
I was telling ngalokho. I thought you're gonna expose it, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Look, I come from a very strict background. My parents never allowed for us to play outside. But when my grandmom was around, we would sneak out and she would cover for us. So we would find ourselves in the street and stuff like that. So yeah, we did sneak out, but we were not allowed to play outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the moment? Apparently, the lady next door benokuthi kubantwana bakhe like umamakho.
Yeah.
I think she used to tell you guys ukuthi abantwana bakasathane bayathukana.
Oh,
So apparently you umntana wase next door benidlala umgusha ngazi nibiza ngani.
yeah.
So apparently wena wathi kulo mntana mekathi ucela ukuzodlala. No. Asidlali nabantwana bakasathane, and then the mother wakuzwa.
No. I plead ignorance. I
Yeah.
don't remember that. Please,
Okay.
just, if you can
Yeah.
completely.
Okay, it's fine. I understand. And also, I heard that your father was a hustler. Big time.
Yes, he was. I actually speak about him in the book and the things that I learned from him. So he used to have a truck selling veggies. At some point, and it was quite a successful business because he managed to secure contract with local shops where he would sell them the veggies in bulk and stuff. So it was quite a lucrative business. But the owner of the truck, because he had borrowed the truck, came back and took it. Excuse me. And then he used to be a taxi driver as well at some point. And all of this is when he was trying to be a priest, and so he was very, very busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this hustling side now, I won't say hustling, but this business side we started from.
Yeah, I must say I got that from him. And when we were staying in Mapupeni, he was trying a brick business. No, I'm giving too much from the book, but people must buy the book. Yeah, so I also try to do it in a structured way, so that I can be able to teach people to be able to also grow their business and not just sithengisa amagwinya kuphela forever, but grow from amagwinya to donuts to franchises and stuff. So I am a hustler, I think, but I also try to put structure in it so that it grows, and then I'm thinking billionaireship level. So
I'm a levels, guys. Get the levels. So graduating after high school, how was life after that?
When I went to tertiary, things were totally different. Like I said, I come from a very strict background. So for the first time, I was nobody was monitoring my movements. I could go in and out. Yeah, things that I did that shall remain nameless. I think I got caught up with volleyball, gakulu.
Favorite sport, guys.
Yeah. So I first year I studied, everything went well. I got NFSAS, which was TEFSA at the time, but eventually the commitment to volleyball caught up with my studies, and then I failed. So I also talk about that journey as well, the things that I learned and how I bounced back from having lost TEFSA and having to go back home without any money to study and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite an interesting time. So yeah.
So then after waphindwa wabuyela esikoleni apparently
Yeah, so I
waba
was
right, izinto
able
zaba
to
right.
go back to school, luckily, because I decided one day, and I don't really know what got into me. I decided one day that I will ask for money from my parents and then head back to school. And you should have seen the expression on their faces when I'm like, can I have money to go back to school? And when they asked how was I going to pay for it, I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going. So I think I learned a lot from that journey and everything. And I was able to go back to school. And when I got there, luckily a friend of mine was looking for someone to hire to work during registration. So that's how I earned money to study and pay for my studies and go back to school. So yeah, it's a couple of lessons there that had I not stood up, that job would have gone to someone else and the likes. But yeah, I was able to finish after
Iphathe
that.
ngifuna ukubuza kahle, uma ubuya first time uluze NSFAS, abazali bayile bathini?
They were
Bave
very
bakuyekela bathi mntanami
disappointed.
welcome home. Like wena udinga induku.
No, I don't think it was like that. I think for them, they thought it was because it was too hard for me. So I also played the victim. I looked like, hey, school is hard, you know. So that's how I sort of escaped Ndugu. But yeah, I also played like, oh no, it was difficult for me. But yes, I know that my focus was right elsewhere. And luckily, it was not on, things like drugs or boys or whatever. It was just on sports, because I was fascinated by the fact that when I was growing up, there were no resources in our township. So for the first time, I was able to see structured sports and sports facilities and all of that. So it was very nice, but it came at a price.
So did you graduate and stuff?
Yeah, I eventually graduated, and also speak about the journey of having to try and go find a job after S4, because after that you must go do in-service training and all of that. So I had to knock one construction company to the next, trying to find in-service training, and then eventually found it and had to do that for a year for me to be able to graduate.
What is SF?
Like the semesters, so they would call them. It's old language.
Old
now
language.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in school a long time ago, so don't even crack your head about that.
But our people have to like kind of understand.
Yeah,
because on the comments you'll hear people, but ukhuluma nge-SF awuzange ubuze, why ungabuzanga? Sure, you see.
So it's S1, that means the first semester, which consists of 6 months. So when you start maybe civil, you do your first 6 months, that's your S1. From June to December, that's your S2, and so forth. So you must do at least 4 of those, and then the last 2 are the last 2 6 months are the in-service training before you can get your diploma. So I did that. So after S4, I had to find work, because for you to get a diploma, you must have some experience, at least a year's experience. So that's when I went to all the construction company looking for.
But you were not scared to go to this industry, like the one year construction, it is dominated by men mostly.
I didn't really care. I was happy to have a job, and I was also happy to be breaking the stereotype that this is
run by men
environment. And even by just choosing that, I just wanted something that, even though I feel like I chose wrong, maybe I don't think my boss is gonna be happy hearing that. But I think it was a journey that was able to bring me where I am right now, and I was fortunate because it worked out perfectly in every sense, you see. So God has a way of working our way into the right
so
places.
You didn't face any challenges when you started that job? For example, me, I started first job this year, so I kind of like, hey, izinto zami kahle ngathi ngifuna ukubuyela esikolweni nje. So you were not like that?
No, I was not like that. I think growing up rough, because I think squatter camp environment is rough. So it prepares you for anything. So no matter how hard or difficult, whether you get a horrible boss or you get a rough environment, even if they can just take a chair and say, you work on this corner, you don't move, whatever, you will find a way to succeed in that. Because I remember when I was working in construction, we had different areas we were building roads on. And we had to walk from like kilometers from one area where we were constructing a road to another area. But it was okay. It did not feel like, but now that, I mean, I can drive myself. I would never do that. I would never do that. But yeah, at the time it was like, this is where I need to, be and grow from that. So yeah, there's a lot to be said about growing up tough, and it really makes you resilient, I must say.
I'm empowered, guys. Yeah.
Did you ever have those friends that ever encouraged you to like keep pushing and keep going forward to see your dream come true?
Yeah, well, I still do have them. I used to have them in school. People who would remind me that, hey, when this volleyball of yours is not gonna work. But of course, I didn't listen to them. But now I have like solid friends, and especially when you're older, you are intentional about the kind of friends and people you keep in your life. So those are the friends that are a voice of reason. And secondly, which is much more important, they believe and see the dreams that I have for myself with me. So we would talk about billionaireship as if it's normal, which is the things that other people get scared. Billion has a lot of zeros. People get dizzy just counting. So with them, I can be able to, take them with me on this journey of the kind of lifestyle I'm looking forward to living. And of course, they also were joking the other day that, okay, when a friend one, you're bringing a yacht, I am bringing a Rolls Royce and a private jet. We need someone who's going to bring a chopper. Yeah. So it was very funny, but I mean, for dreams to be realized, they need to exist in our brains first.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
wow.
about the book.
Wow, guys. I told you, she's not upcoming, she's renowned. So get that, guys. So did you ever really, like when you were growing up, think that I'm gonna be in construction and stuff, or you were on other things? For example, abanye mebekhula baqala bathi hayi mina ngizoba udoctor.
No, I didn't have that. I didn't know what I was gonna do with myself, my life. I just chose something that sounded nice. And it's also great when I tell people that I studied civil engineering. Everybody's like, wow, I like that. Even if it really make sense. But it also sounded like that to me as well. So it sounded nice and too educated and stuff. So I went for it. And that is why when I give back to these high schools, I try and assist the students to choose right, because there's a lot to be said by not having a proper career guidance. I mean, I could have ended up anywhere depressed because I chose a wrong career and found myself somewhere where I have no business being. But yeah, luckily for me, it worked out very well, and I make it work. And the nicest thing about civil is that it has different areas where a person can slot themselves in. So construction for me, project management turned out to be, much more suitable for me as well.
Wow. Okay. So ngiyabonakala ukuthi basoyiphethe already. So into engifuna ukubuza, as you mentioned ukuthi khona ikolo encedayo with this You started something ukuthi uye eyikolweni u-assist abantwana ngama-career guidance and stuff. How did that start vele?
Okay. At some point, it came out that people cannot go to tertiary by a follicle.
Yes.
They must do application online to go into tertiary.
Yeah.
And at the time, Elokshini, I know people don't have laptops, let alone data and stuff. So I took a bunch of my friends to Daveyton, to Enyati, because I studied Enyati. I took them to Enyati and said, let's assist these kids in registering, because all you need to do is bring your laptop with the data and register as many students as we can. And that's when we try to see what can you study, what are you good at, and all of that we assisted. But now when we tried to do that process, we found that their results are very poor, you know. So we started launching Saturday school, that is the ENC, NCLA.
Okay.
That's when we tried to have assist them with maths, science, and accounting, so that we can sort of boost their results, and after that register them. But after COVID happening, that fell through with a bunch of my friends, and then I went back again to do. That's when I had already written a book and tried to assist with the wealth mindset.
Okay.
So I assist with giving them a head start of how to start small businesses in the township environment. So that's what I do now. I go there once every month to just help them for whatever business they want to start. I can assist, and with the township market, how to maneuver it, and yeah, that's where I am right
So
now.
that program, it's kind of in a low now, like laying low. Our guy push again.
Well, I'm trying to, because it's a bit of a challenge when you get into a space saselokshini and talk about wealth. People don't really hear you. So I was there, and I could tell that they're not connecting with me.
Yeah.
But luckily, I took all their names, ne? And got my assistant to create a group on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So that's when I started sharing information. I would share bursary information. I would tell them that they can start their selling journey, or business starting small business journey, and also give them examples of people who've done that, especially kids. I've got kids that started businesses. So I just to encourage them and to show them that it's possible. So I would do things like those. And then yesterday I was like, should I come back to the school and assist you? And everybody was like, yes, please come. So I'm going back again to help them with that. I also got invited as well in Tembisa and Valley, so I'll be talking there as well. But obviously, I have to establish the environment there.
Umbuso would like to know, how did you re-motivate yourself after COVID, after everything COVID just fell to the ground?
Yeah, look, I think for me, God has placed in my heart this need of wanting to help. Because of the way I grew up, I have always wanted to go back and assist and tell people even small information, like there is a way of going back to school, like there is NFSAS. Also, because when you are in the township, you cannot see past the environment, the possibilities that exist there. So that has always been a drive for me. So even if I'm just sitting and saying I'm tired, I'm not going, that thing keeps nagging me that I could be helping at least one. I could be helping, two or whatever. So I find myself every time going back. And I also am in a space where I don't really wait for anyone to come with me. So they'll find me there if they want to assist, because I appreciate the fact that it's something that God has placed in me, really, not on anyone else as such. So it is my journey, it is my duty to give back that way, you know. I don't know if answers the question.
Yeah, asingeneke incwadi guys esizengayo today what we came about guys. So can you please tell us about ukuthi how did you start, like indaba from construction ukuyo construct amagama for incwadi, how did that start?
Okay, well, a while back, I think in 2019, I went through depression, a very dark time in my life. And in an effort to try and get myself out of there, I started doing things like affirmations. I started doing things like gratitude journal and whatnot. So the idea was so that I don't wake up sad every morning, because that's how I felt at the time. I was sad in the morning, I was sad in the evening. So the idea was so that I don't become this person that is weighed down. But to my surprise, it created, like, it opened my mind. It created some fire in me.
Okay.
And I started listening to motivational talks, like literally every day. So I was this person who was always fired up. So it was only natural that the energy should go somewhere. So that's when I got the idea that, you know, in everything, because we had already started doing property with my husband. So it felt like I have some information that I can share with the people. So I started researching on the subject, and even the motivational talks and podcasts that I listened to were like finances, getting wealthy, and all of that. And I'm like, an everyday person can start doing this and actually get wealthy. Why are we not doing it? I mean, considering the way we live in our townships, you see. So I started researching, and ideas came, and the book came, and I started committing to writing a paragraph a day, for instance. So every day, so I would do my affirmations, do my gratitude, read something, do podcast, then write. Just like that every day until it came together.
Wow. So any struggles that you faced while writing a book?
You're coming up with things to say.
I'm sure
it's very hard. I think what I've learned, it's very important to tap into our inner being, or rather to God. I don't know if you don't mind me quoting a scripture.
No, it's fine.
That says, be still and know that I'm God. So that is essentially silencing your mind to hear exactly, because if this is indeed God's assignment, surely he has to have some kind of influence towards it. So that is allowing yourself to be used as a vehicle like that. So when I feel like, for instance, I struggled with chapters, I'm like, I couldn't. I would write it and finish it and tear it apart and start afresh and all of that. But if you are able to put yourself in a space where you really try and hear clearly, even if it doesn't eventually sound right, you just deliver what you're supposed to deliver. And to my surprise, there's people who read the book. Actually, I have a voice note from someone who read chapter 2 and said, it brought me to tears. And I'm like, tears? I went back to look, what exactly did I say? So that's an indication that in every assignment that we are given, God has someone in mind that he wants to answer their prayers through you carrying out the assignment given. And that is why it's important. We have no business not following our dreams or living our purpose. Yeah.
Guys, siyashuba ngapha. Siyashuba guys. So This was your first book, or you've written another book
It is
before?
my first book.
Wow. Yeah, for your first book, guys, it's the best one. I was telling Alikama, think like the wealth, not the rich.
Okay, so I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
So essentially, firstly, I give a distinction between the rich mindset and the wealth mindset. The rich mindset is centered around money. When you don't touch money, you don't feel rich, and everything about you is about money, spending it, having it, and whatnot. Whereas the wealth mindset is about creating systems that bring wealth to you, and also being a kind of a specific person for you to be able to attract the wealth that you want. So, and that's why an everyday person cannot think wealth or cannot think billionaire or anything, because you need to work yourself to being a specific type of a person for you to be able to attract the wealth. So attracting the wealth, I mean having ideas that are going to bring wealth, have spotting opportunities that no one else can see, that can generate money for you. All of those things, like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, guys, angeke singena kakhulu ngoba nje ugcine ningayithengi ngoba senizwe too much information, guys. So I know we are exposure our part. Yes, exposure. See, expose okuningi today. So abantu bangayithola kuphi le ncwadi, and also okay, before ngiya ukuthi bangayithola kuphi, when you were writing this book did you get enough support, or you did it all alone vele?
There's no way you cannot get support.
Angisho abanye abantu phela uzokutshela ukuthi hayi, everything I did it by myself. So
no. Yeah, look, my husband was very supportive. My brother, my mentor, was very, because like sometimes I just thought, no, I'm giving up. This is nonsense. I don't want to do this. Please just take it away from me. But like I said, that nagging voice that kept coming back, I would have to find a way to come back. So yeah, I had a lot of people who would support me, who would believe in the book even before it came out. I would also send like chapters to people to say, just tell me what do you think of this, and the response would be motivating, because now they would be excited, or we can't wait to read the rest of the book. And I'm like, really? And then I would start again. So yeah, I had that support system around me every time. My brother, he was always there to hold my hand. Yeah, no, there were a lot of people that were very supportive.
And also you also sell perfumes.
Oh yeah,
that side
that is my side hustle. So I was talking in a book about side hustles, and at the time I didn't have, and I'm thinking it's not going to be fair to be talking about something that I did not do, because a lot of the book is based on my experience, on everything that I've applied. So I'm like, side hustle. But because I've worked myself into a space where I'm able to spot opportunities when I need to, I found a friend who was selling perfumes, but he was not marketing them right as far as I was concerned. I'm like, no, bring here. And then we worked out a deal of how much he was going to sell them to me in bulk. Then he said, yeah. Then we had a deal. And then I started selling. And it really shocked me to see that, one, I can actually sell. And two, that when you put yourself out there, things really do happen. So I did that experiment and then wrote about it in the book. So yeah, I ended up selling perfume. I ended up enjoying it. I loved his perfumes. They're very nice. So that's why. And that made me happy that I was selling a product that I also believed in, that I also use. So yeah, I sell perfumes.
Guys, I used to use it before. Just gele kwanyamalala isikhathi nyana la use khona, but it's a good one, guys. Guys, you will want to go for it. So make sure ukuthi uyayithole yakho nawe. incwadi bangayithola kuphi?
So
Kanjani?
they can
Sorry.
either buy it from Amazon, or they can buy from the website
Okay.
www.inalawealthservices.co.za.
Inala what?
Inala Wealth.
Okay.
Inala means wealth
Oh,
or
okay.
abundance.
Okay, so senzwile guys ukuthi ningayithola kuphi
Yeah,
incwadi.
Inala Wealth Services.
Any questions that you have, guys?
I actually have a question. You keep on, you break a ceiling from the beginning yakho, where another person would say uhluphekile, and for you it was normal. You went from umuntu hlala kuScottsdale camp, like you say, wafunda, walena, wafela, wakhuphuka futhi, right? How do you celebrate breaking these barriers? Because we forget to celebrate ourselves as abantu, you know, njengoba usho ukuthi you started writing amagama gratitude and affirmations to yourself, but how do you celebrate your big and your little victories?
Okay. Actually, that's a good question, because I was thinking that I'm actually due a big celebration for everything that I've achieved so far. But yeah, is essentially giving thanks to God, because there is no way I could have achieved what I've achieved without him saying so, or him championing the journey for me to be here. Because for doors to open, God has to have gone ahead of you. So yeah, I think I owe one big celebration. Yeah, no, it's just giving thanks really to God for everything that I have achieved. And I think that is my way as well of giving back, as a way of being grateful to God, because for everything that I receive, I want to share. And all the success that I stand to get, it's not just for me, it's so that God can bless other people through me. Yeah.
Guys, ziningi izinto. I also heard ukuthi you also into property. Guys, mina ngiyisho research yami.
Yeah, look, with my husband, we have 10 houses that we renting out, but now we're going.
Okay.
So we're going for a strategy where we buy land now and
Okay.
building our own thing. So yeah, we on that journey. So yeah, property is a vehicle that I think I'll be using to get the wealth that I want. So yeah, I don't know if into property is the right word, because there's so much you can do in property.
Okay.
But with us, it's just units that
okay.
we're renting out. And then now we will be building to be able to rent that space out. And a auction is much easier than when you're doing it elsewhere, which we're gonna go that route eventually, because for us to grow, we need to start somewhere and then move on. So yeah, I'm into property.
Iqale kanjani leyo ndaba? For example, abanye baqala nganokuthi maybe babe nezindlu ezithu. Let's say you and your husband have 2 houses. The other one you're renting it out. Then be more interested. How did your journey and your heart start?
Okay, when we got married, I already had 2 and he had 1.
Wow.
So we sort of combined, and because we were seeing the income that we're getting, and we realized, maybe let's get more, you see. So we started buying, but when we bought, we could see that we can actually buy 2 at a time. So we started buying 2. We bought the other 2. So it started accumulating like that and growing from that. And especially we would buy when there's no development yet, it's still off plan. So the house is much cheaper than when it was already built. Like we bought 2 houses in Whitfield in Boxback. So when we bought them, they were like 450 or so, around there. But now the value of the house is like 550, you know. So the moment they finish building the house, you already can make profit without even taking out your own money because you have applied for a bond that hasn't come through or that you have not even started paying back, you know. So we realize, oh no, this is good. We need to do more of that. So yeah, that is essentially our journey.
Wow, guys, hey, ngathi kumele sisticke nayo. Yes. So right now I'm a property now engaki.
It's 10 with the big house that we bought, the family house.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, the 2 lands as well. So yeah. Okay, from time to time, because we just sold another one. So from time to time, it's like sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 11. So
Okay, it
I sort of,
depends.
it's around that figure.
So people would say sometimes it's better to buy land than to buy a land already that has a structure built in.
No, what
Which
I would
one is-
advise is that you do your own education
Okay.
and see what works for you. Because
Okay.
in property, there's a whole lot that you can do. You can even export a distressed property and sell it to someone else to fix and, you know, make profit out of that. Or you can do the fixing yourself, and then after you do the fixing and sell it at a profit, then you just make money like that. That's still property, but you're not owning anything, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot that you can do. So get your own education and figure out what will work for you, and then do it like that. I know people who just make money by just looking at a property, doing the numbers analysis, how much you can make, and selling that deal to someone else who will, you know, give them that money for having found the property, and then carrying on with that whilst they take away the money and move on to the other one.
So there are many ways to make
There
money
is
with
so many
on
ways to
property.
make money in property. So do your own education and then decide what will work for you.
So do you think people should rather go to school for it or just
Well, educate yourself.
Sasha Slicer to
Educate yourself can mean watching YouTube videos. You know, there's a lot of areas where a person can get knowledge as far as property is concerned. So if you decide to go to school, go crazy. But as long as it's the value that you're gonna get is going to benefit you when you know, making the money that you want.
Wow, any highest achievement that uhappy ngayo manje, like owazi ukuthi nje manje ngiyabreka ngayo, guys, this one highest achievement
Okay,
in
no,
my life.
I don't like bragging. Maybe I do it subconsciously.
Okay.
But yeah, I think having written a book, having known the amount of effort it takes and how it has already changed me and made me grow, I think it's by far or hands down the best thing that I've done. It's something that I can leave as a legacy as well for the generation to come. So yeah, I am proudest of this, and I hope I'm able to use the momentum to still educate people and, you know, yeah, so I would say that is it.
Okay, could you share some insight from your experience working at Mutupe Power Station and how it influenced your perspective on success and wealth?
Admit would be the biggest challenge for me was the fact that I was working away from my husband or my family. So I learned a lot of discipline, and that's the first thing. The second thing, I was given a couple of projects. I learned a lot about myself in terms of the things that I can achieve if I apply myself. So I started at Midupi as an assistant construction project manager, and then I was given like a project to handle by myself, like a huge project. I think it was about 200 million worth of a project that I had to run myself, and I did it successfully. So I was like, yeah, It's Kokomos. So I can do this.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question, but yeah,
Wow.
I learned a lot
Yes.
about myself and what I have a potential of doing and achieving. Yeah.
200 meter. Hayi guys, ngicazile kuphela. I think yomekhala imali nje ilapho ngizwakala khona.
Sengibuzela umuntu ofana nami ne. My end goal, I work in the media industry and my end goal is to own a hotel. And particularly because you're a project manager, I think that is probably fascinating for you as well if you were to get such, right? Provided you achieved the wealth you hope to get through property, would you ever write a book about property development in real estate?
No, not really.
Okay.
One, because my passion really is about getting the wealth.
Okay.
And secondly, I think there are very much more knowledgeable people than me.
Yeah.
And my involvement in property is just on these two things that I spoke about.
Yeah.
And like I indicated, there's like a number of things one can embark on. Yeah. So I don't know if you wanna me to comment about your dreams from media to hotel.
No, that one is a personal achievement.
Okay.
I understand.
All
Yeah,
right.
because the hotel is a passion.
Okay.
Yes, rather than a dream.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just gonna say that I also help people from that media to wherever you wanna go. Yeah. So I assist with that as well as Inala.
Okay. Maybe we didn't mention some of the things. What would you tell people that you do that they might need you for? Because nathi kuningi akwenzayo guys, maybe ama-research plus information abayi-update inokushoda nyana. So
yeah, so at Inala, the first thing that we do, basic financial management. So I'm not necessarily a finance coach or anything like that is accredited, but I help with like generating income, budgeting, and also how to start with your wealth journey. So when we move on to the wealth part, that's when we work on the mindset. Because like I was saying, for you to accumulate the wealth that you want, you need to be a type of a person or having a specific mindset for you to handle the wealth that is coming to you or even attract the wealth. That's why the lotto winners don't keep the wealth because their mindset is not there yet. So I train you to get to a space where you think of yourself as wealthy and therefore attract the wealth.
Since you're talking about finance, what do you think about Forex? It's out of the content, but
okay, so I don't do Forex in a sense that
something.
No, not remember in an individual must choose for themselves what works. So for me, it's property. Not that I will not do Forex later, but I give you options when I say these are the things that can grow your money. I even spoke about them in the book. So Forex is one of them. And a business, starting a business and all of that. So it's important you as a person do your own research and then get into Forex and do you so that you can grow your money. And if that doesn't work, still feel free or be flexible enough to move on to another method that can grow your money. So I'm all about whatever works for an individual. We don't like push you to a specific direction because we feel it works. No, it doesn't work like that. I don't think wealth is supposed to work like that.
Okay. For listeners who may be interested in incorporating giving back their own lives regardless of their financial situation, what advice would you offer?
Give their time. Give their time. It's a matter of when you have an hour on a Saturday or whatever, you can go to any to any cause that you wanna give to, because like I said, God plants in our hearts different things. For you it might be children in hospital, for me it might be kids in school or whatever. So if you don't have monetary value, give time.
Okay, so Vala, any project that you are working on for the future that people can expect?
Okay, there is going to be an event, wealth wealth movement seminar. So we're starting. When I was launching the book, I was saying we're starting a movement.
Okay.
So we're trying to recruit people who are going to think wealth, or who's gonna have wealth mindset. So it's going to be structured such that people can bring their businesses and network with others. So if you're selling cookies, you come sell your cookies. If you are a tailor, you can bring your things. So there will be stalls for people to do that. And obviously there will be speakers. It's on the 30th of September, and starting at 9 in Midland. I will share the poster.
Please do, guys. We will also share the information with you. I think we'll also be there. Surely we'll also be there. We did mention even the perfume. Where can they get it? I don't think that we mentioned that part.
The perfume?
Yeah.
Or I sell them personally. So
okay.
I can just give my number, and I send the poster as well to say these are the perfumes that are available, and then sell them. And they will be there on the 30th. There will be a stall for the perfume.
So guys, it's not fresh. Okay. Ngicela ubashare my number for ukuthola incwadi nokuthola perfume.
Okay, my number is 081-339-5407. So for a book or perfume, and also you can still go to the website www.inalawealthservices.co.za.
I will drop a link and the numbers below with video, so make sure to get everything. Perfume unuke fresh, incwadi uthole knowledge. Sesivala ngithanda ukubonga kakhulu ngokuthi ublesse ispace sethu today. We truly appreciate it. And also, is there a second book that you are working on, or?
Oh, guys, no pressure, please.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, look, I think eventually I will, because I speak a lot about achieving my dreams and billionaireship. So from that space, I need to be able to talk about the journey from there backwards, and also how is it like being there, So I think there can be a second book in that space, but obviously right now I'm still building towards that.
Okay, guys, I would like to thank you all for tuning in, and also please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Sponsors. Okay, guys. Also, we would like to send a great appreciation to AGM Events for sponsoring us with the furniture and also borrowing us the studio room, if we could say. And also, please support us, support my team by purchasing the merchandise, its caps, tracksuits, anything that you want. Not anything, just anything. Impahla, guys. I don't mean food. Asithengisa ukudla. You understand? So ngithanda ukubonga. Also make sure to get the book and the perfume. Usimele mnandi. This is Exposure Hour, where we bring upcoming and renowned artists, whether local or internationally. See you next time, guys. Thank you. Before sivale ngicela sivalele yona ngemotivation nje. Guys, wow, ngiyababamba mina.
Even if Bunga Fundela your favorite passage from your book. Or
even if it's long.
Yeah, I can spare.
Yeah, we can spare
4.5 minutes for you.
Yeah.
If you can't do us a motivation, let's go to the book.
Yeah. To people, and I never thought I would hear them from someone else who's actually achieving at the rate that you are. So definitely, I would love to hear.
Yeah. Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
Guys.
Yo, okay. So this is my favorite. So I read it even during the launch. It's in chapter 4. That's in chapter 4, that's page 54. So I had just spoken about Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Right? So now I think that's previous page. Okay, I'll start from page 53
Okay.
at the bottom. I start asking the question, how comfortable are you in your situation? Ne? Extracting the first lesson from the above, which is at a very young age, Warren Buffett started trying to find knowledge at the age of 7, actually.
Wow.
So extracting from the first lesson from the above, one would start asking oneself that question. Because what good is a lesson learned if you are not going to do anything about it? Now, there are different levels of comfort, and people that are simply content with their situation. They are comfortable responding with, I do not have money, every time they are asked to do something. They are okay with working the whole day and coming back home to watch TV, then go back to sleep. There are those that occasionally wonder if their lives will ever improve because their situation starts to inflict pain on them. Everything that used to feel normal in the past begins to seem a bit uncomfortable. Waking up early to catch a taxi to work becomes a bit of a mission. These types of people are most likely the ones that can pick up a book, just like Mr. Warren Buffett. Just like Mr. Warren Buffett did to figure out what they can do in an effort to improve their situation. The motivation is there, but they will either throw in the towel at the sight of the first obstacle or find other excuse to not follow through. This will serve as a way of explaining to themselves whenever that pain comes up again. And in most cases, this is effective enough to numb that pain and make it bearable to enjoy it some more. My husband and I met a lot of people like that when we were looking for people to partner with on some of our property ventures. They talk a big talk, but when it comes to action, nothing comes to fruition. The third group is people who are fed up with where they are, believe there is more to life than what they are currently experiencing, and can no longer take a day of their situation anymore. Those people will not only pick up one book, they will pick up a number of books, and they will do everything they can to educate themselves and make it a point to apply what they have learned. They will talk to anyone who has done what they are intending to do or to achieve their goals, and then do what they learn from that person. They are not interested in any excuses. They push through obstacles on their way and learn from their mistakes. Those people are the ones that are most likely to see results and witness change in their lives. Now, the question is, which one are you?
Which one are you guys? Which one are you? So you pinned that your question. Okay. Guys, sesiyivala ngicela usharela ama-socials wakho la bangathola khona. Sesiyivalile kahle ngoba siyivalile vele. Ngicela ama-socials.
Okay. Okay. Mama Hawunkosi ku Facebook and then naku Instagram.
Okay. Ngathi uyayivala baba.
Hawu ngiyayivala
Vala.
Okay, ningasithola ku-YouTube what is this konje yini Spotify, usithole na TikTok, nisithole ko wonke ama major platform we podcast. This episode was brought to you by Exposure Hour and CMR. Thank you very much.
Thank you.